You ever have one of those days where you're doing everything right, but still feel like something's just off? You get up, maybe take your vitamins, have a cup of coffee, eat a light breakfast with what you think are healthy veggies, but by mid-afternoon, you feel sluggish, maybe a bit achy, even foggy in the head. That was exactly what a patient of mine, Harold, kept telling me. He's 72, walks daily, doesn't smoke, rarely drinks, and cooks most of his meals. On paper, he was doing great. But still, something wasn't clicking. He said, "Doc, I'm eating spinach, tomatoes, even bell peppers. Aren't those supposed to be good for me?" That's when I realized, we need to talk about this. Because yes, while vegetables are essential, not all vegetables are senior friendly. In fact, some of the most common ones you've been told are healthy could actually be working against your body after 60. And most people have no idea. Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Jansen. I've been a men's health specialist for over 30 years, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that nutrition doesn't have a one-size-fits-all rule, especially as we age. What worked for your body in your 40s may be causing inflammation, joint pain, or even memory issues today. But here's the good news. Once you know which foods to swap and why, your body can start feeling sharper, stronger, and more energized in just a matter of days. That's what I saw happen with Harold, and what I want for you too. If you're over 60, you deserve to know the truth about what's on your plate. And this video is going to uncover it for you. Before we dive deeper, I'd love for you to tap that like button if you care about staying sharp and healthy in your later years. Hit subscribe, and don't forget the bell icon so you don't miss future videos with insights just like this. And here's a little something just between us. If you've ever been told a vegetable is good for you but you still felt worse afterward, type yes in the comments. If not, type no. I do read the comments, and your answers help me shape the advice I share next. Now, back to Harold. He was eating what most folks would call a picture-perfect senior diet. Lots of greens, colorful veggies, soups, and homemade stir-fries. But what we uncovered together, and what shocked him, was that some of these veggies were triggering low-grade inflammation, gut irritation, and even making his joints stiffer. He couldn't believe it, and honestly, neither could I, until we looked at his food journal. Let's start with one of the most surprising culprits, nightshades. You've probably heard of them. Tomatoes, eggplants, bell peppers, and white potatoes all fall into this group. They're colorful, popular, and they seem innocent, right? But for many people over 60, nightshades can quietly inflame your joints and digestive tract without any dramatic warning signs. You might just think, I'm getting older, this stiffness is normal. But often, it's not just age, it's what's on your plate. I remember Harold saying, "I eat tomatoes almost every day. I love them. You're telling me they might be hurting me?" I nodded. "It's possible," I said. So, we tried an experiment. 2 weeks. No tomatoes, no peppers, no eggplant, no white potatoes. That was it. We didn't change anything else in his diet. And friends, here's where it gets interesting. Within 10 days, Harold called me. "Doc," he said, "my knees feel loose. Like they're not locking up when I get out of bed. And I'm not needing my antacid after lunch anymore." That's when I knew we were onto something. It's not about demonizing vegetables. It's about understanding which ones your body can handle now, and which ones it used to handle just fine, but now cause hidden damage. And let me be clear, not everyone reacts to nightshades. But in my practice, I've seen it enough times in men and women over 60 that I can't ignore the trend. Now, here's another thing. Once we removed those problematic veggies, I didn't just leave Harold hanging. I told him what to eat instead. Because it's not just about what you cut out, it's what you add in that really brings strength and energy back. Take steamed cruciferous vegetables, for example. Broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. Cooked gently, they become easier to digest and release compounds that help your liver detox, balance your hormones, and even support sharper memory. Harold swapped out his roasted peppers for lightly steamed broccoli and noticed not only less bloating, but a surprising mental clarity after meals. He even joked, "I don't know if it's the broccoli or just the fact that I'm not groaning when I stand up, but I feel 10 years younger." And listen, that's what I want for you. Because after 60, food isn't just fuel anymore, it's medicine. Or, if you're not careful, it's poison. And you wouldn't knowingly take a pill every day that made your joints hurt or fogged your brain. But so many seniors are doing just that through food choices that seem healthy, but aren't. One of the hardest parts of aging is how sneaky the changes become. Things don't fall apart overnight. You just wake up one day and realize you're not as quick, not as limber, maybe not even as cheerful. And it's easy to blame age. But sometimes, it's just the wrong vegetable on your plate every morning. Harold had a habit of adding raw tomatoes to his breakfast eggs. A few slices, every day. It gives it flavor, he said. But once we cut that and replaced it with sautéed spinach and garlic, he started feeling better almost immediately. More energy, less stomach acid, and an easier time focusing when reading his newspaper in the morning. These small changes? They're not magic. They're just smart. And honestly, that's all you need. A few smart shifts, tailored to the way your body works now, not 30 years ago. Because your body still wants to thrive. You just have to give it the right support. If you're still with me, that tells me you care about your health, and you're not afraid to challenge old beliefs. I admire that, and I'm here to walk alongside you. Just remember, we're not here to fear food. We're here to understand it. To listen to how our body feels, pay attention to patterns, and make empowered choices. Like Harold did, he didn't make a massive overhaul. He made one change, and it changed everything. I'll tell you more about the other vegetables to be cautious of, and the exact ones to eat more of instead. But for now, just remember this. If something you're eating every day is making you feel worse, even subtly, it might be time to rethink it. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel sharp. And you can. Let's take this one step at a time, together. So there Harold was, 72 years old, slowly rebuilding his energy and confidence simply by making a few smart swaps on his plate. But that first change, removing nightshades like tomatoes and peppers, was only the beginning. Because here's the truth. After age 60, your gut lining gets thinner, your metabolism slows down, and your tolerance for certain plant chemicals drops, sometimes drastically. That brings us to another common vegetable that might be silently working against you: raw spinach. Yes, I said it. I know, for years, people have been told spinach is a superfood. Popeye made it iconic, but for seniors, especially men and women dealing with kidney problems, joint stiffness, or fatigue, raw spinach can quietly cause more harm than good. Let me explain why. Spinach, especially raw, is very high in something called oxalates. These are natural compounds found in some plants. In small amounts, they're usually harmless. But when oxalates build up in your system, they can bind to calcium and form sharp crystals. Over time, this can lead to kidney stones, joint pain, and even interfere with your body's ability to absorb other nutrients. Harold had no idea about oxalates. And truthfully, neither do most people. He used to make raw spinach salads a few times a week, thinking he was doing himself a favor. But that nagging pain in his lower back, we later discovered it was a small kidney stone forming. Fortunately, we caught it early. But it was a wake-up call for both of us. Now here's the trick. Spinach isn't all bad, but it needs to be cooked. Lightly steaming spinach can significantly reduce the oxalate content, making it far safer and easier on your kidneys. So instead of tossing it raw into a salad, try wilting it in a pan with a touch of olive oil and garlic. It'll actually boost the absorption of key nutrients like iron and magnesium, without the side effects. When Harold made that switch, he noticed not just relief in his back, but something else too. His digestion felt smoother. Less bloating, less gas. He said, "Doc, I feel like my stomach isn't fighting me anymore." And again, I reminded him, it's not about cutting out vegetables altogether. It's about eating the right ones in the right form for the stage of life you're in. Before we go on, if this message is making sense to you, if you're realizing you may need to revisit some of your own food habits, go ahead and tap that like button. It lets me know you're listening and that this matters to you. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell icon so I can keep bringing you real solutions that meet you exactly where you are. And don't forget to comment below with a simple yes or no. Have you ever had issues like kidney stones or mysterious joint pain after eating healthy foods? I really do go through the comments, and it helps me know how best to serve this community. Now, let's take a look at another sneaky vegetable that might be disrupting your health behind the scenes: corn. Whether it's on the cob, in a salad, or hidden in soups and processed foods, corn is everywhere. And while it might taste sweet and harmless, it's actually one of the hardest vegetables for your digestive system to break down, especially after 60. Corn is high in cellulose, a tough plant fiber that many aging digestive systems simply can't process well. You might notice it comes out the same way it went in, as many of my patients joke. But beyond being hard to digest, corn is also very high in starch, which spikes your blood sugar. That's bad news if you're managing diabetes, insulin resistance, or trying to lose that stubborn belly weight. For Harold, corn wasn't something he ate often. But once in a while, he'd enjoy a bowl of corn chowder, especially in the winter. After we looked at his food journal together, we noticed a pattern. After meals with corn, he felt unusually tired. Almost like I'd taken a sleeping pill, he said. That's the hidden blood sugar crash talking. The spike from the corn was giving him a temporary lift, followed by a hard drop. And that can take a serious toll on your energy and focus, especially when it happens over and over again. So instead of corn, I had Harold try roasted carrots. They're slightly sweet when cooked, much easier on digestion, and offer a steady release of energy thanks to their beta-carotene content. Carrots also support eye health, which many seniors struggle with, and the color and texture still made him feel like he was enjoying something hearty and comforting. He reported back after a few weeks. "You know what, Doc? I haven't had that sleepy slump in the afternoon for a while now." That's when I smiled and said, "That's your body thanking you." It's those small adjustments that add up over time. You don't need to overhaul your whole diet in a week. You just need to listen to how your body responds and make one change at a time, strategically. The last vegetable I'll talk about in this part is one I see seniors reaching for all the time: canned green beans. They're cheap, they're soft, and they're easy to heat up. But they also come with a hidden problem: preservatives and sodium. Canned green beans are often loaded with salt and bisphenol A, BPA, a chemical that leaches from the lining of many canned goods. Over time, BPA can mess with your hormones, disrupt your metabolism, and even increase your risk for certain cancers. When I asked Harold if he used canned goods, he said, "Only green beans. They're so easy." But he agreed to switch to frozen green beans instead. We steamed them gently and tossed them with a little olive oil and slivered almonds. Not only did they taste better, but he started noticing something surprising: less swelling in his hands and feet. "It's like my rings fit better again," he told me. That's not a coincidence. Excess sodium from canned veggies can cause fluid retention, making your joints stiffer and your body feel puffier than it should. And for seniors, especially those dealing with blood pressure or heart concerns, that kind of hidden salt intake can be dangerous. By removing canned green beans and replacing them with fresh or frozen alternatives, Harold took a big step toward reducing his body's toxic burden. He felt clearer, lighter, and more in control. So here's what I want you to take away today: not all vegetables are good for you now. They may have served you well 20 years ago, but your body has changed. And that's not a bad thing. It's just something we need to respect and work with. If you've been struggling with unexplained fatigue, joint pain, digestive issues, or brain fog, even when you're eating what you think is healthy, please don't ignore it. There's almost always a reason. And more often than not, that reason is sitting right there on your plate. Now, as you think about what's in your fridge or pantry, I encourage you to just start paying attention. One meal at a time. One swap at a time. Just like Harold did. You're not too old to feel better. You're not too late to start healing. You just need the right information, and someone who cares enough to walk you through it. I'll be right here. There's something powerful about realizing you still have control over your body, your energy, and even your future. That's what Harold discovered. By taking just a few vegetables off his plate and replacing them with gentler, nutrient-dense options, he began feeling like himself again. And you can too. Now, before we continue, if you found this video helpful so far, will you take a quick second to tap that like button? And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and the bell icon so you never miss this kind of life-changing advice. Also, drop a simple yes or no in the comments. Are you already thinking about making one of these changes in your own kitchen? I read every comment because your feedback shapes what I cover next. So far, we've talked about the vegetables that may be silently draining your strength and clarity: nightshades, raw spinach, corn, and canned green beans. Now let's shift gears. I want to walk you through the replacement foods. The ones that, when added in gently and consistently, can actually restore energy, reduce joint pain, and help you feel sharp and light again. When Harold asked, "Okay, doc, if I can't have tomatoes, corn, or raw spinach, what can I eat?" I smiled. "Plenty," I said, "and you might even enjoy these more." Let's start with one of the most overlooked superfoods for seniors: zucchini. It's gentle on digestion, low in oxalates, and packed with hydration. After 60, many seniors become chronically dehydrated without even realizing it. That's because your thirst reflex naturally dulls with age. Zucchini, which is over 90% water, helps replenish fluids while also delivering vitamin C and potassium, both essential for blood pressure and brain function. I suggested Harold slice zucchini thin, sauté it in olive oil with a pinch of turmeric and black pepper. He loved it. "Doc, it's like a soft, buttery vegetable noodle," he told me after trying it. And guess what? He felt lighter after meals. No more bloating, and a gentle sense of satisfaction that didn't weigh him down. That's what smart vegetable choices can do: support your body, not burden it. Another vegetable I encouraged Harold to add was cooked carrots. Roasting carrots brings out their natural sweetness, and they're a wonderful source of beta-carotene, which converts into vitamin A, a key nutrient for your immune system and vision. Many seniors experience declining eyesight after 60, and while no single food is a magic bullet, carrots offer protection that accumulates over time. Plus, they're soft, easy to chew, and provide stable energy without the blood sugar crash that starchy corn can cause. Harold started replacing his evening potatoes with roasted carrots. "I used to feel like a log after dinner," he said. "Now I feel like I can actually get things done before bed." That's the difference real food makes. It doesn't just fill you up, it fuels you. Now, let's talk about cabbage. I know it may not sound glamorous, but it's one of the most healing vegetables for aging guts. Lightly steamed or gently sautéed cabbage is soothing, anti-inflammatory, and supports your gut lining. I've seen seniors who struggled with gas, cramping, or irritable bowels experience relief just from incorporating cabbage a few times a week. Harold was skeptical at first. "Cabbage?" he said, raising an eyebrow. "Isn't that what my grandmother used to boil to death?" I laughed. "We're not boiling it. We're giving it a quick steam or stir fry with caraway seeds and garlic." He gave it a try, and within a week, he reported his bowels were more regular, and the cramping he sometimes got after big meals was gone. And the best part? He wasn't missing the other vegetables at all. When you replace problem foods with the right foods, foods that are easy on your gut, nourishing to your cells, and kind to your joints, you don't feel restricted. You feel relieved. Another vegetable that I highly recommend for seniors is beets, especially when roasted. Beets are rich in nitrates, which naturally support circulation and blood flow. As we age, poor circulation is one of the biggest contributors to cold hands and feet, brain fog, and fatigue. The body's blood vessels become less elastic, and your cells don't receive oxygen as efficiently. Beets help restore that. Harold had never really eaten beets before, but once I explained how they could help with his cold feet at night, he agreed to give them a try. We roasted them in the oven, added a splash of balsamic vinegar, and paired them with a bit of goat cheese. Within 2 weeks, he noticed that he wasn't reaching for his wool socks at 8 p.m. anymore. "Doc, I think I've got better circulation," he joked. It's those small wins that build momentum. And momentum is everything in your 60s and 70s. When you start feeling better, you want to move more. You feel less dependent, more in control. And believe me, it's not just vegetables. It's the confidence that builds when your body starts responding positively to your care. I want to take a moment here to remind you, this is about you. Not about following some generic, senior diet. Not about chasing fads. This is about listening to your body, trusting its signals, and supporting it with foods that truly love you back. Harold told me something a few weeks into his journey that stuck with me. I didn't know how heavy I felt until I started feeling light again. That hit home. Because for so many people, especially after 60, feeling tired, achy, or stiff becomes the new normal. But it doesn't have to be. What if your meals didn't make you feel bloated? What if your joints weren't sore after lunch? What if your mind felt sharper just by changing what was on your plate? These aren't pipe dreams, they're possibilities. And they're closer than you think. So here's what I encourage you to do tonight. Open your fridge or pantry and take stock. Are the vegetables you're eating still serving you, or are they secretly slowing you down? Could you try one new vegetable this week? Just one. That supports energy, joint health, or digestion? Because it's not about eating perfectly. It's about eating consciously, and giving your body the ingredients it needs to feel strong, clear, and alive again. You've still got time. You've still got potential. You just need the right foods on your side. Let's keep walking this journey together. One plate at a time. You know, by the time Harold came in for his 3-month follow-up, I almost didn't recognize him. His posture was better, his handshake was stronger, and his whole face seemed more alive, brighter eyes, easier smile. "Doc," he said with a little grin, "I didn't think vegetables could change my life. But I was wrong. And that's exactly the point I want to end on today. It's not just about food. It's about how food makes you feel. When you're over 60, it's not about having 6-pack abs or running marathons. It's about waking up without pain, moving through the day with steady energy, having a clear mind and a calm stomach, feeling hopeful and in control again. But let's face it, getting there often means unlearning a few things we were told for years. Like the idea that all vegetables are healthy, no matter what. Or that canned goods are just as good as fresh. Or that if you're stiff or tired, well, it must just be your age. We now know that's not true. For Harold, it wasn't his age that was stealing his energy and making his knees ache. It was a daily dose of tomatoes, canned green beans, and raw spinach, foods he thought were safe. And when we swapped those out for roasted carrots, sautéed zucchini, steamed cabbage, and the occasional serving of roasted beets, everything changed. I've seen it again and again. You change what's on your plate, and slowly, your body starts to respond. The inflammation settles, the digestion calms, the sleep gets deeper, and most importantly, you start believing in your body again. That belief? It's powerful. I can give you all the lists and science in the world. But the real healing happens when you start feeling better and realize, this is me again. I'm not done yet. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but doc, I've been eating these things for decades and I've been fine. And to that I say, you probably were fine, back then. But after 60, your body becomes more sensitive. Your organs work a little slower. Your joints take longer to recover. And the little things that didn't bother you before? Now they add up. That doesn't mean you've failed. It means your body is asking for a different kind of care, and you're wise enough to listen. So if you're sitting there wondering what to cook tonight, try this. Steam up some fresh cabbage, sauté a few slices of zucchini, or roast a batch of carrots with olive oil and thyme. Keep it simple, keep it gentle. You don't need a fancy recipe. You just need kindness on your plate. Because what you eat is either creating inflammation or calming it. It's either draining you or filling your tank. And here's the thing. Friend, you've got a lot of life left to live. Whether you're 62, 72, or pushing 85, your body wants to feel better. It's just waiting for the right support. Harold told me something during that last visit that really stuck with me. He said, "Doc, I didn't just feel better physically. I felt proud of myself. I didn't think I could change, but I did." And I looked him in the eye and said, "That's the best medicine there is." You see, when you take care of your body in your 60s and beyond, you're not just managing symptoms. You're reclaiming agency. You're saying, I'm not going to sit back and let aging take everything from me. You're choosing life, and vitality, and possibility. So here's what I want for you. I want you to leave this video not feeling overwhelmed, but empowered. You don't have to overhaul your diet overnight. You just need to start with one thing. One vegetable swap. One plate of food that helps you feel stronger, not slower. Just like Harold did. If this message has spoken to you today, even just a little, would you do me a favor? Tap the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. But more importantly, drop a yes or no in the comments. Has this video made you think differently about the vegetables you eat? When you write those comments, you're not just helping me, you're helping each other. Seniors all over the world are reading your words and realizing, I'm not alone in this. That's what this community is all about. Now, before we close, I want to give you one last little exercise. Tonight or tomorrow, take 5 minutes, just 5, and open your fridge. Look at your go-to vegetables. Ask yourself, do these make me feel light and energized, or heavy and tired? Then pick just one to replace this week. One little step. Maybe swap that can of green beans for frozen ones. Maybe roast carrots instead of potatoes. Maybe skip the raw spinach and steam some cabbage instead. Small steps, big changes. Because here's what I believe with all my heart. You are not broken. You are not fragile. And you are certainly not done. You've still got wisdom to share, laughter to give, and mornings worth waking up for. Let your food support that. Let it nourish the version of you that still wants to dance, garden, take walks, and hug your grandkids with strong arms. Let it be your partner, not your poison. You've made it this far in life, and that's no small thing. You deserve to feel good. You deserve clear thoughts, strong legs, and a calm, pain-free body. And it starts with the choices you make every day, one plate at a time. I'm Dr. Robert Jansen. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey today. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and never stop believing in your body's ability to heal. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.